Alright dudes, we are going to discuss squish today. So, all the pictures on Facebook with guys with holes in the middle of their pistons and shattered pistons and whatnot, it's likely because they're running no base gasket. Base gaskets are too small and the squish is too tight. So, this is my twin. My squish was actually way too tight on this, so went ahead and pulled. This is the RT cylinder, so your base gaskets are below here. I pulled both these off, added 2 base gaskets, so we've got a piece of solder from left to right here in the same direction as the wrist pin. So what I want to do is I want to check squish and show you guys how to do that. So your cylinder is going to be a little bit different, or likely will be a little bit different than this one, but theory still applies. So if your squish is too tight, I'm not going to tell you how to set it. I'm not going to tell you what to set it to, because I don't want someone to be upset and blame it on the settings I gave you. So do your own research on where to set your squish for your application. This is not a race build by any means. This is, I won't actually use it on the street, so I'm not really going too crazy with it. But so you want to make sure when you're doing this that your head is tight. Everything's tight, so not gonna go too crazy because we're just gonna snug it up. All my gaskets are in place. All right. So now what we're gonna do is turn this guy by hand. You just feel a little pressure that's squishing the solder. So there it went past it. So that's it. So now, I'm going to take this off here. If your solder is way too thick, you're going to have a really hard time compressing it. So make sure you use the right thickness solder. So if you got a weird stroker setup, race cylinder, anything like that, this is very, very, very important. It's crucial to have this set right. So, let's see what we got here. So as you can see, squish that solder down, and that's what we're measuring, is that thickness of that solder. So let's see what we're at here. Should zeroed out. Okay, 0.48, definitely not enough, or it's too tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this back off and add another base gasket to raise this whole cylinder up higher. So when you do that, effectively I need to get another base gasket, stack it on there to bring it back up to an acceptable area. I want to be about 0.75 with this build, so I need to find a base gasket that's going to raise this thing up enough to essentially drop the piston down a little bit lower to give me the squish I want. So yeah, 0.48, way too tight for what I'm going for. So again, in order to make that squish band larger, you just need to get base gaskets and make sure if you stack them, use a good sealant in between. And by good sealant, I don't mean RTV that you're getting down the road, the nasty red rubber stuff that you use on your grandpa's truck. I actually use something good. I use Honda Bond on these between all of them. So I'm gonna measure these, find a good thickness, pull this back off. I'm gonna stack another base gasket on top, Honda Bond it, and check it again until I get the squish that I want. But that's kind of squish explained. So again, if you think you're getting more horsepower, yeah, you'll probably get a little bit more power by running no base gasket or thin base gasket, but it's only a matter of time until you blow up your engine. So just want to show you guys what squish is, because I mentioned it to people and they don't understand, or they're don't understand what it is or what it means or the importance of it. But it's this distance between, it's the distance between the your head basically and this, around this inside here, between the edge of your piston and your cylinder head or dome or whatever. So on this, it would be the distance between this lip here and around that very outer edge. So I'm shooting for 0.75 0.7 to 0.75 somewhere with this motor, so I just need to pull it back off, add more base gaskets, more Honda Bond, and check it again. So again, put your solder from left to right in here, the same distance or the same direction as your wrist pin. That way, if you do top to bottom, then when you roll the piston up, it could rock one way or the other to give you an improper readings on your solder. So you want to go from left to right, the same direction as the wrist pin. So thanks for watching. You guys get any questions, let me know. But just again, can't stress enough, if it's a sport bore like a Corsa, Contessa, or something like that, it doesn't really apply, because they those things are just big to begin with, so you're probably not gonna have any issues bolting it on. You get in any of the race stuff where it's gonna be a tighter squish up here, you wanna check your squish and compression. If you just bolt it on and go, it's kind of a shot in the dark. Had I just bolted this on and gone, I don't know how long this engine would have lasted, but it definitely would have needed race fuel, which is not what I'm going for. So anyways, you got questions, let us know. Thanks.